Hi, my name's Colin Peevely,
And I'm Josh Alexander.
and this is the Out of Place podcast.
Together, we travel the country to bring you to a new destination with each episode.
From current events to crazy stories, we discuss just about anything and everything.
So follow along with each episode as we continue to be out of place.
Hello, everyone. This is the Out of Place podcast. Today, we are in a field.
Yeah, we're in a field.
Where are we at, Josh?
Field.
We are in a field at Masterson Station Park.
Yay.
Yeah.
No, we literally just walked out into a field. Today's a pretty good day. It's a little overcast, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So we decided, you know what we should do today? And we looked at our list of all the places, and field was on there, and we just said yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now we're here.
Today is an Out of Place podcast. First, I am wearing not jeans.
And you're not wearing a blue shirt.
Is this
This-
the first time? Did we finally break the streak?
Maybe.
What
in
is
all
this,
honesty.
episode 8? 9? 9. Episode 9. Took 9 episodes for me to change my pants.
Watch, that's going to be wrong.
It could. We don't know.
No, I think it's 9. Anyway.
Oh, I forgot about the walkie-talkies.
Yeah, no, we haven't used them, but they're there.
Yeah.
We had walkie-talkies just in case where we went today. We had to both split up to try to find locations. We didn't have to do that, but we need an excuse to use them. Anyway, here on the Out of Place podcast, we talk about pretty much anything and anything resulting in news, media, tech, and all sorts of stuff. What is your first topic you want to talk about today, sir?
I'm going to let you start because you sounded like you had something to talk about regarding the next time we will be seen.
We both have been preaching it.
We have been preaching.
Apple, ladies and gentlemen, October 18th, 2021, the Unleashed event will occur. This is going to be the event, hopefully, where we see the upgraded MacBooks.
This could be the deciding factor if we're going to get this.
If we're going to upgrade. Is Apple going to follow through on the rumored specs, or are they going to fall back? And we are going to be watching the broadcast and recording it. And that is going to be episode 10 of the Out of Place podcast.
Yeah, or episode 9 or
Depending
11.
on what it is, we don't know.
Whichever episode we're
I
on
think it's
now.
10.
We always know when we end up doing the after part of the
Yeah,
episode.
and then we're like, ah.
But during the episode, we're
But
just
the
like,
next
yeah,
episode of Out of Place will be us watching the live stream and then reacting to it.
yes. So if you are excited for it, cool. I'm glad you're excited
Yeah.
for it. If you're not excited for it,
Cool.
too bad.
Too bad.
Too bad.
Anyway, we're
going
going to go ahead and do that next episode. So if you haven't already, subscribe and you'll get notifications or whatever when we do that. But we've talked about it 100 million times. It's now just going to come down to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What is going to be the outcome? We've talked about this a whole bunch in the past 2 to 3 episodes about these new MacBook computers, and are they going to live up to the expectations? And we're just going to have to find out.
So this is our first episode special. It'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
how it goes.
First episode special.
It will still come out on Friday,
Mhm.
most likely.
Yeah, we're going to have to record
So-
it Monday, so it's going to come out a little late.
So
but
we're sticking to the schedule. We're gonna be like 4 business days late.
yeah, it's
usual
just, that's how it
package.
goes.
Usual package timing. So
We're going by standard mail shipping.
yeah. So I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
going to be our next episode. Anyway, that's pretty much that. There's not, we can talk about more, but there's nothing really to talk about because we're just waiting to see what's going to happen.
Well, let's just do a quick overview of what we're hoping to see.
I'm
so
hoping
just
to
to
see.
refresh everybody.
I'm hoping to see what's this is going to be my thought process, right? Like, I'm hoping for a new chip.
Yeah.
To come out with a new chip, they're probably going to have 2 models of MacBook. One of them is going to be slightly smaller.
It's gonna be a 14-inch and a 16-inch. Yeah.
This slightly smaller one's probably going to have less specs than the bigger one, if not equal. And I think that one thing I'm hoping to see is that you're going to see a 32 gig model.
Yeah, they have been rumored. So this is the rumors
Mhm.
that there's going to be a 14-inch and a 16-inch. They're going to be the same spec,
Yeah.
just different sizes, which
I
is
hope so.
interesting. However, the base model is going to start at 16 gigs of RAM.
Ooh.
That is the rumor. So we're just going to have to see what's going to happen with that, because that may mean that we're getting a 16 gig and a 32 gig.
That's what
option.
I'm excited for.
Because all of the M1 Macs have been limited to only 16 gigs.
Yeah.
So
Which has been one of the discouraging factors in
Yeah.
getting them, along with
So-
their 2 I/O ports.
we could be getting what everybody wanted last time.
I'm hoping.
And this, if they do have something that's more than 16 gigs, then that's gonna open up that market for all the
pro line.
professional time.
The people
you
that
know?
are really looking to use a MacBook as it was intended, as a professional computer.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it.
I am too. We're going to have to wait and see on Monday, and you all will see us react to that later that week.
My biggest question is, are they gonna put the HDMI port?
That, and then also the SD card slot.
Yeah, and like honestly, I don't care about the HDMI port that much.
I'd rather have an SD card slot than HDMI port.
I agree, and like
because Thunderbolt technology is coming along so quickly. That
yeah,
monitors
I
and
feel
stuff
like everybody who's going to be using a MacBook already has an adapter.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been going on for a lot longer
Ages.
than the USB-C
Ages,
era. So, I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to an HDMI. It's a welcome addition. Don't get me wrong.
Big thing, MagSafe. That's the big one. I'm looking
If
forward to.
MagSafe is on it, I will be happy.
You're gonna cop it instantly.
Maybe.
Put that pre-order in.
Yeah, let me just spend the rest of my college funds real quick.
But again, we'll just have to wait and see. We talked about it a lot in the past. If you want to see more about that, you can look at out of place clips or go back to the last 2 episodes. We'll have them on the screen or whatever. But what is your next topic for today?
My next topic, should I get into my like exciting for me topic, or should I save that for later on?
How long do you think it'll be? Because we can designate the last part of the show to it.
Don't know. I'll just get into it.
Go
I'll
for
just
it.
Get into it.
I'm
Let's get all the
excited. You
exciting
told me about
stuff
it.
through. You know.
Go for it.
So something happened yesterday.
What happened?
Very excited for it. I may be one of few that is excited for it, but it is very interesting. So
Framework lap.
no, not framework laptop yet. But yesterday there was an update for a game.
Oh.
The first update in a decade.
Oh.
Bethesda updated Fallout 3
Why?
because you have to edit the game files to be able to play it on Windows 10. They came out with an update. They updated the game. You can play it on Windows 10 without the Windows Live extension,
Really?
which was basically you had to have Windows Live, which is like a service for Microsoft games.
Yeah.
And it's not a thing anymore. So you can't like download it and make the games work.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still required for Fallout 3. So they took that away. And so now you can just download it on Windows 10 and it works.
Huh.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight.
You go for it.
Because I wasn't home yesterday when they released it, but I was very excited for it. And it's really good for me who hasn't, like, I've tried everything that you're supposed to do to get it to work, and it still hasn't worked. And that happens to some people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work for people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is good because my original plan was to put it on Windows 7, which isn't the most secure
Yeah.
thing to do.
Mm.
I do have a Windows 7 drive in my computer right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't downloaded any drivers. But I was usually using a virtual machine actually on this computer
Okay.
last night. Last night, before, well, not last night, yesterday, before the update was announced. And I was like trying to find out if I could get it to actually run on Windows 7 or not, or if it's
Yeah.
still going to use Windows Live and it's still going to be confused and all that. So I put on a virtual machine, and it didn't even want to cooperate at all. And so after that, I was like, okay, I give up. I'm just never going to play Fallout 3. And then
Well, there you go.
literally right after that, they were like, oh, yeah,
Here you go.
I got you. We'll
Enjoy.
update it. So it felt like the update was for me.
It's
like
for you.
I literally felt like the update was for me.
Well, there you
so
go. You're gonna have a busy night.
I'm gonna probably not even play Fallout 3. I'm probably just gonna get it downloaded and working because I'm playing through Fallout New Vegas right now.
And then you're
so
gonna finish. And
yeah, but I have a plan to play through every single Fallout game in order.
We'll make sure we can get 4 working for you.
Yeah,
We'll get your graphics
yeah.
card.
76 is out of the question.
Yeah.
76, it's all right. Everybody hates it.
I've played it.
There's reasons to
I caught
hate
it for free though.
Yeah. I mean, there's reasons to hate 76, but it's definitely not the worst Fallout game.
No.
Fallout Tactics, pretty bad. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, basically, to explain that game to you, saying that it's a bad game is insulting to all the bad games that are better than it. It's like one of the worst games of all time.
Yeah.
So, probably not going to play those 2 or 3, but I am planning to play through all of them. I don't know if I'll share that with anybody.
No,
but
we'll just come back to it.
but I'm gonna
later.
do it for my own personal sake. Maybe I'll invite people to watch.
It'll be like your exclusive Collins Gaming Club.
Yeah.
Only exclusive to Fallout. And people might be interested
Press
in
like
that.
if you want to
wanna
see me make
Collins.
gaming content.
I have one other tech thing to talk about that I thought was cool today.
Okay.
But so we like tech, right?
No.
Moving on. Acer is working on a laptop with a 3D display.
I'm gonna say what I said in what was it, the last episode? It was either the last episode or the episode before. Nintendo 3DS, man. All the technology from the Nintendo 3DS is coming back.
The Concept D7 Spatial Lab Edition laptop is going to start at $4,150 when it first launches in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa this December.
Excuse me, what?
The laptop stands out because it has stereoscopic 3D display and eye-tracking cameras to help create the illusion that objects on the screen are three-dimensional.
Okay. So see, this is where it differs from the Nintendo 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So this is more actually like
comparing this
this
$5,000
is actually
the
more
Nintendo
like
3DS.
the new Nintendo 3DS, which has eye tracking cameras in it.
That's what this does.
It's literally the Nintendo
laptop
3DS.
relies on lenticular 3D. The product's two lens cameras can track your head and eyes as you move around the laptop. The system then takes this data and uses the stereoscopic 3D display to generate different angles of images for your eyes. No 3D glasses are needed. So yeah, there you go.
This is literally
There you
just
go.
the technology from the new Nintendo 3DS put into a computer.
Yeah.
And just for a reference of how long it's taken somebody to do this, the new Nintendo 3DS lost support in 2020.
Lost support.
Lost
Yeah.
support. They
But-
no longer make it anymore. And they started making it in 2015,
Yeah.
the new Nintendo 3DS.
Mhm.
So catch up to Nintendo, guys. Catch up, Nintendo.
The computer
Like-
industry is running late. But basically, spec sheet 15.6 4K IPS display with a 3D mode. It will have 11th gen Core i7H, a 3080 mobile, and then 64 gig of DDR RAM.
Okay, I just want to point out,
DDR4.
literally when you describe the screen, it's literally just what's in the Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS, except just larger.
Yeah,
That's
4K.
it.
And it has a 3080 in it.
I mean, it's gonna have better resolution than the new
No,
Nintendo 3DS.
really?
but
Really?
what
So,
are
yeah.
what are the odds that the last two
4,000
episodes we've had, I've been like, that's just the
Nintendo
Nintendo
3DS.
3DS.
But no, that's so if for $4,150, you can go ahead and cop that if you want it.
I'm okay. I'll just stick to my 3DS.
Moving on. What
You can
else
still
do you
browse
have?
the internet on it. It's not a good experience.
Go.
So should we just have an episode connecting to the Nintendo 3DS?
We just have an entire episode trying to use a Nintendo 3DS as my computer for a week.
Dude, that'd be a good episode. I'm down.
All right.
You wanna do it?
Yeah, sure, we'll do it. Why not?
We'll have to. How much do you
I'm
know
gonna-
about?
I'm gonna get DaVinci
How do you
on
know?
the 3DS
How
and
do you
edit a podcast on
How much
it.
do you know about the Nintendo 3DS?
Nothing. I
Okay.
wasn't. I
You can
didn't have the
get-
money to have
You
one.
can get a capture card for the Nintendo 3DS.
Here we go. It's
but
going.
you have to send it in to somebody in Europe, and he physically takes the capture card and implants it into it, and so you have a little thing sticking off the back, and it's
So
a
we're
capture
gonna have
card.
to pre-order our 3DS computers. That should be like a
No,
special.
we just need a capture card because I have a 3DS,
Perfect.
and
We'll get the
then
capture
I
card.
could steal my brother's 3DS.
We're done.
It's not the new Nintendo 3DS
That's
though.
okay.
We don't got the fancy
It's okay.
cameras like this new laptop has. That only happens when you get the new Nintendo.
But now, if you
3DS.
want to, you can go the $10,000 package, and you can get the $2,000 lens with the $4,000 camera body with the RF 5.2, and then you pay another $4,000 for the Acer laptop, so you can edit your 3D footage in 3D if you want to, or you could just buy a Nintendo
Dear God.
3DS and
Dear
have it
God.
all.
Yeah,
You could have it
just
all. Anyway, that's my only thing. That's my one thing. Is that it? Is that
I'm
just
I'm
Nintendo
sorry,
3DS?
but just the Nintendo 3DS. We've got to just have an entire episode dedicated to it,
Okay, you know what?
Playing Fallout 3 on a Nintendo 3DS. That's our next episode.
Okay.
Well,
our next
it's
episode,
not our next
It's our
episode.
next episode.
Yeah.
We've already pre-ordered episodes.
So, my next topic. Framework laptop.
Really?
Yeah. Well, this is not topic. This is more just I want to have a discussion.
General discussion.
Yeah.
All right.
So, as we know,
Mm-hmm.
this is also going to be a subject that I bring up next episode too.
Okay.
So, as we know, MacBook.
Yeah.
New one's coming out. If we're
We're
disappointed,
hoping.
we're hoping. If we're disappointed, do we go with framework?
That honestly, that's a possibility.
It's honestly, it's not that far fetched.
No. Because I will say that recently, because I edit in DaVinci, for those who don't know. When I do this podcast, I use DaVinci and Photoshop and do all that, primarily on Mac.
Yeah.
My MacBook deceased. The battery blew up in it. It was a cheap battery. It was a knockoff one anyway, but it blew up. And so I went to using a Windows laptop for a while. And honestly, I don't hate Windows. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite in the slightest. But I don't, if you put a gun to my head and said, use Windows for the rest of your life, I could.
I have kind of a counter argument for what you just said.
Mac OS framework?
No, I have a counter argument that I think you don't hate Windows because you haven't had to use only Windows.
I guess that is true.
Because we've also had we have other computers that run Mac OS.
Yeah.
So I think that you don't hate Windows because you have the option to not use Windows if you really want to.
Yeah.
When I didn't have the option, boy, did I hate Windows.
Yeah.
And that's why I played around with Linux so much.
You did do that for the longest time.
Windows,
and
hate
then you
it.
emulated a Linux. Which one? Which version was it?
No, I emulated on. I started out using Manjaro, but I had to do a lot of work on it to get the program running. But you can run Mac OS inside of Manjaro.
Yep.
And it was so cool, and I loved it. And then I fell in love with Mac OS because it was just fun. And then
Now you got a MacBook.
and then after I did all that work setting that one up, they came out with a version on
you told me about
Ubuntu
this.
where you could just download an app and then be like, click, and then you got it working. And all you have to do is just edit the amount of RAM you want
Yeah.
and how many cores you want it to use. And I was so mad because I spent hours getting it to work on
Yeah.
Manjaro, and then it took me 30 minutes of waiting for stuff to download. So yeah, it's really cool. If you ever want to try out Mac OS, just download Linux, go through.
Just you want to try Mac OS, download Linux.
But yeah, I actually do. So I like every. So basically, if you're not I don't know what the correct word to use for it. If you're not super into operating systems on computers, I'll give you a quick rundown. So there's three main types. You've got Windows. Everybody knows Windows.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a computer, you probably know about Windows.
Yeah.
And you've at least seen Windows.
Mhm.
You got Mac OS. Most people know that if you obviously get a Mac computer, that's what you're going to be running.
And Linux.
And then you got Linux. Out of all those three, there's only
no,
one.
You're missing one.
Huh?
What was the one that?
Okay, we're just talking main operating system.
What was the one?
We're not getting far out there.
Oh, fine.
You thinking about Temple OS?
Temple OS. Yes, I'm thinking about Temple OS.
We're not getting.
I want to use Temple OS for a week.
Okay, next episode.
Yes.
Temple OS.
Temple OS. Anyway.
All right. So that's the main
Those are the
three.
three.
Out of all of those, the only ones where you have options, realistically, Linux. That's it.
Yeah, but the issue is with Linux is compatibility. with apps.
Compatibility, and you gotta put in work.
Yeah.
You can't just download it and go. Well, you can.
Yeah.
You just might not get the best experience doing that.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not going to get the best use cases out of it.
Yeah.
So the best plug and play by far is Mac.
Yeah.
because as long as you have a Mac, you're always going to be able to get it to work.
Always.
Windows can be tricky.
It is.
Windows can
It's very-
mess itself up
Yeah.
doing nothing. But Mac OS is so much more stable
Mhm.
because it actually is a cousin to Linux. So it runs a lot better than Windows does.
Yep.
The thing about Windows is that everything is made for Windows. Pretty much. So
Every game,
that's the problem that you'll encounter is if you're not using Windows, you eventually have to use Windows.
So I think we're just kind of waiting for time to.
So here's
Tell.
the question. Framework if the Mac flops.
I would say maybe.
I would say maybe two. It's not a bad price. It's not cheap,
It's not cheap.
but it's
no.
not expensive.
But there's upgradability.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest thing for us.
And you save like $300 when you put all the pieces in it.
So we'll wait and see. But for now, Monday, October 18th.
Yep. Well,
Mac.
you'll be seeing it on Friday.
Yeah,
but,
you'll be seeing it on Friday. But for us,
but
we'll be seeing
you know what? Go ahead, watch it.
Wait
Get
for
your
us to
thoughts
start
together,
Screaming.
and then you'll watch us
What is
scream at
this?
it.
No.
That's basically what we did with the iPhone
yeah,
release.
I'm
We were just
praying.
like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, I'm praying.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is. I think. Do you have anything else to talk about? Is that gonna be it for this episode?
I mean, those are the main things I want to talk about.
All right. So, but for the next episode of Out of Place, we will be reacting to October 18th, Apple Unleashed, hopefully MacBook announcement.
Hopefully.
You'll be seeing us then. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening.
If you liked what you saw today, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, maybe, if you want to.
Yeah.
And if
to find us in a
you-
field again.
Yeah, and if you want to hear us talk about other things,
Let
leave
us
a
know.
comment.
Yeah.
If you really want us to talk about other things, leave a really good comment, and maybe we'll just make a whole video about
Yeah.
that.
Ask us a question.
Yeah,
Do stuff
we're
like that.
down
That'd
to
be
make
cool.
videos separate from the podcast that are about things you guys want to see. So,
Exactly. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. My name's Josh Alexander,
my name's Colin Peevler.
and this has been the Out of Place podcast. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Bye.